audio has the meaning of sound or listening. Okay, so audience is the people who listens. Knew that a real war had been fought. Homer assumed his audience knew that a real war had been fought. Okay, so Homer thought that the people who reads his story would think that the Trojan War was real. Okay, that was actually how Schliemann found Troy. That was the real case. That was the real way that Schliemann found Troy. He read the Iliad and followed the clues that Homer had left. He read the Iliad and followed the clues. What's a clue? Clue is something that helps to solve a problem or give the answer to a question. And voila! Once he started digging, he unearthed the ancient city. And voila! Voila, what is this? Voila is French. Okay? Means here it is. Okay? Once he started digging, what does that mean, once? Once means right after he started digging. He unearthed the ancient city. He unearthed. What does that mean? Unearth means remove the earth, dig. Okay? The ancient city. What does ancient mean? Ancient means belonging to a long time ago, a distant past, alright? And so how distant? How long ago? Especially until the end of Roman Empire. Okay? In retrospect, anyone could have found Troy. In retrospect, what does that mean? Retrospect means to thinking of something afterwards, okay? And often having an opinion that is different from the opinion that you had at that time, okay? Retrospect. Retro, what does retro mean? Retro means backwards, going back. Spect means to look. Okay? You have the word spectator. That means the people who are looking. So retrospect means looking back. In retrospect means when we look back. In looking back. Anyone could have found Troy. Not only Schliemann. If there was anyone who believed that the story was a real event. I mean, Homer wasn't writing an historical document, but he still made it clear that he believed the Trojan War had really occurred. I mean, Homer wasn't writing a historical document. Historical, what does that mean? Historical means is the adjective of history. The events happened in the past, alright? Historical document. What is document? Document is official piece of paper which have writings on it, alright? But he still made it clear that he believed the Trojan War had really occurred. What does occur mean? Occur means he was not writing a historical document, but in his writing, if we look at his writing, it is clear that Homer believed the Trojan War was really true. What does this mean? Homer was born around the time of 800 BC, and Iliad was thought to have been written in 700 BC, okay? But the Trojan War was when? The mid-13th century, okay? So when Homer was writing Iliad, the Trojan War was like, how many years ago? Was still like 600 years ago for him. So he had to believe that it was true because it didn't happen in his lifetime or near his lifetime. So, do you get everything now? This is very interesting. Odyssey, Iliad, both are very nice stories if you read it, alright? And it's a lot of time went by from when I read Iliad and Odyssey. The Iliad starts by, I think, because it was so long ago, I can't remember exactly. Starts by the description of Achilles or someone, right? He was a soldier or a general. Okay. Okay. Number one. Why does the professor explain the story of the Iliad? Why does he express the story? No, explain the story. It's to provide some background information, right? He explains the story of Iliad because Iliad is the story of the city of Troy, and what he's going to talk about is how is about Schliemann, okay, discovering this site of Trojan War, okay? Provide some background information. What is provide? Provide means to give, okay? It's the formal form of give. Some background information. It means something that you have to know before you study something. Let's look at other options. B, to answer a student's question about it. It's not bad, okay? To show why Schliemann trusted Homer's writing. He doesn't do that to show this. D, to prove that the Trojan War really happened. He didn't explain to prove that this war really happened. Iliad was to give background knowledge. Okay. Why does Professor discuss Heinrich Schliemann? Why does he discuss him? He wants to talk about what? The importance of his archaeological contributions, right? What did he say? He got results. Okay? He deserves our respect and admiration. Anyhow, let's look at other options. To compare his style with that of other archaeologists. He didn't discuss Heinrich to compare with other archaeologists. B, to claim that his methods were not real archaeology. This was what the student was going to say, but the professor said, although his methods were unorthodox, he deserves respect because no one has achieved what Heinrich Schliemann achieved in archaeology. Okay. C, to describe, no. D, to explain why he was the only person who trusted Homer's accounts. Okay. This is not why he discussed Heinrich Schliemann, nor Heinrich was the only person who trusted Homer's accounts. They didn't say anything about that. Homer's account, what's an account? Account is a written or spoken record of something. You understand? What does the professor imply about archaeology? What does imply mean? Imply means to not directly say something, but the meaning is inside it. Okay? So, what does the professor imply? It became more popular after Schliemann's discoveries. D is the answer, right? What does popular mean? Popular means liked by a lot of people. Okay? So, let me give you the part. In addition, Schliemann did more than any other archaeologist to increase the general public's interest in archaeology. Okay? That means it became more popular. So D is the answer. It implies that. Let's look at other options. It attracts people who do not act in a professional manner. He didn't imply that. It is one of the most difficult professions to make discoveries in. Okay. The professor doesn't imply that it's the most difficult profession to make discoveries, so B is not the answer. D, it became a more, no. C, many of the people who practice it are highly learned. He didn't imply anything about the people who practice archaeology are highly learned. What does practice mean? Practice means to actually do the thing. Do you understand? Apply it or actually do that, okay? So, the answer is what? D. Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question. Let's listen again.
Archaeological discovery in the world.
Type 4. Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
This was arguably the greatest archaeological discovery in the world. You have something to add to the discussion?
Yes, sir. About Schliemann. I mean, he wasn't a real archaeologist, and his field methods were simply awful.
What does the professor mean when he says this?
You have something to add to the discussion?
Okay. Why does the professor say that? That's because maybe he thought that the student would like to add something, okay? The way the student looked at the professor had that meaning, okay? So the answer is what? He wants the student to ask her question. That would be the answer, right? Let's look at other options. A, he believes that the matter is settled. This is not why he said that, right? What does settle mean? Settle means decided and arranged. It's over, solved, all right? The students should speak up during discussion time. What does that mean, speak up? Speak up means speak loudly, so it has nothing to do with that. D, he has finished speaking about that topic. He didn't say that to say that he has finished speaking about that topic. So the answer is C. Alright, this was a very interesting topic, okay? And it would be very nice for you and helpful for you to read Iliad and the Odyssey, although in your own language, okay? Bye-bye.